Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler video series videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie, this was not my intended review for today. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm gonna go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm gonna yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, you know it, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. But what super cool shirt am I wearing for you today? Happens to be my Puppet Master shirt. Yeah, buddy. I love this shirt. If you're unfamiliar with Puppet Master is a series of films. Started out, I want to say, in the late 80s, if I'm not mistaken. Either late 80s or early 90s. As a delightful little group of horror films centered around these living dolls that would go over there and do all kinds of mischievous, murderous adventures. I grew up really loving these films. I'm still a huge fan of, probably about the first 6 or so. After that, it gets extremely dicey. You really don't have to keep going with it after a certain point. But, those original ones are really, really good. I love them. I've watched them all numerous times over and over again. I have, box set collections and stuff, so I'm a fan. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why was this not my original intended review? Well, it's because my original intended review was I was going to review something from Panda Express. But Panda Express by me opens up at 10 a.m. I was like, all right, I'm not going to go in at 10. I'll give them a little time to get their shit set up. So I get there around 10:45 or so. I figure, we're close to 11, going to start getting people in for... and look, I'm not trying to shit on anybody. I don't know what, the operation is at Panda Express. They had some noodles ready and the orange chicken and some egg rolls. That was it. Nothing else. I would imagine you would prep before opening, but again, I don't know that side of things, and I've never worked in food prep, but it just seemed a little bit weird to me that, you're about an hour out from lunch and you still have basically nothing available. So, luckily, right next door, there was a Wingstop. So I'm reviewing, boom, from Wingstop, boom, some chicken wings. Specifically, these are their Mexican street spice wings. Ooh, okay. I got them classic style, bone in. And I guess for all intents and purposes, these are probably going to be elote or elotes style. The Mexican street corn style, which is a flavor that's been going around. It's a thing that people have been trying to emulate. So let's get a thing for the thing here. Looks like this. Okay. Ha 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 ha! Try these out. They seem a little bit dry. I don't know if that's supposed to be that way or not. They might just be a dry rub seasoning, to be fair. Okay. Chicken itself is decent. I mean, Wingstop chicken isn't my favorite chicken in the world, but, it's not bad. It's tender. It's doing what it's need to do. The seasoning... I mean, there's a Parmesan or some kind of cheese on it, so you're getting kind of a cheesiness, but really though, I'm not getting much of an elotes vibe from these, because elotes, you got the cheese, there's a chili element, sometimes you got a lime element. Okay. These I'm mostly just getting the cheese. Like, I'm not really getting much of like a chili vibe or anything. Hot. That one had a little bit more going for it. I want to say maybe I got a little bit of a lime element with that one. Okay. Yeah, the lime thing, I don't know. That might have just been it being so hot that my brain kind of was like, oh, maybe there's like an acidity to it. Okay. That one was definitely better seasoned. So I was getting more of that like Mexican street corn flavor. It certainly became more identifiable. I still wouldn't say that it's jumping out at me, but it's at least there. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's just... It doesn't feel like they under-seasoned it, although it does feel like some were seasoned better than others. It just feels like the seasoning itself, while not untasty, it's not really doing the best job of emulating that elotes flavor. But the thing is, you do get pockets of it where when enough of it is condensed together, you do actually get the taste. You do get that flavor. But it's kind of few and far between. You really have to get like these, in order for this flavor to work on these wings, these needed to be really heavily seasoned. Because when I'm getting patches that aren't as seasoned as the others, they just have sort of a general kind of cheesy taste, you know? Yeah. Even when I do get like the bigger hits of it though, I'll be honest, I still don't think it's that great of a representation of that flavor. It's at least more noticeable, for sure, but like you're not getting like any like kick from the chili or anything. Yeah, okay. Alright. Well, 2 questions have to be asked then. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? Third question, do I think they do a good job of emulating the Mexican street corn flavor? No, and no. I'll say this, I don't dislike them for what they are. But what they mostly are, for me, is Wingstop wings, which are okay, you know, not bad for what they are, but obviously if you're going in for Wingstop or Buffalo Wild Wings, what have you, you're going for the sauce, right? That's got to be, or the seasoning in this case. With this, I love the idea, and I would think that the execution wouldn't be super difficult because, I mean, you know, what really makes Mexican street corn flavor is stuff you're applying to corn, just apply it to the chicken wings, but I don't really feel like it comes through that great in this, you know? And so what I'm left with is mostly, again, just some cheesy Wingstop wings, which are, you know, fine. And occasional, you know, bursts of that Mexican street corn flavor. I like the idea of these very much, but I feel like the execution is lackluster. I feel like they could have really made this work extremely well, and I don't know if they just kind of half-assed it, or again, maybe mine are just a little under-seasoned, or what. But this is one, if they take it off, return to the drawing board, come out with a new improved version, I'd love to try it again. But until then, no, I just don't find these to be very impressive. If I'm recommending them, I'm not, because I don't think they're bad. The flavor itself for what it is okay, but again, it's just not that impressive. And, you know, at the end of the day, folks, I've got other wing places I can go to. Again, if I'm doing Wingstop or Buffalo Wild Wings, it's for those seasonings, those sauces. So if you're going to go over there and make this happen, I need it to really stand out. I need it to be a thing. And I personally feel like these are just meh, so they're kind of interesting in their own way, and I think if they'd nailed it, I would have been happy to recommend it, but I just don't think they're, So, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there themselves a truly elote, I'm never sure how to pronounce it, tastic rest of your life, because the real deal is phenomenal. And I reviewed other things that have done a good job with it. Cheeto, the Mexican street corn Cheetos are really good. It can be done. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. When we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your experience with Mexican street corn style? Have you had it the authentic version? Have you had, just the flavor pairings and snacks and stuff that they're doing these days? What have you? For me personally, I love proper elotes. Like, that's one of those things, if I see it on the menu, I will almost always order it. I have, in fact, reviewed some of it in the past. If you want, you can look those up on this here channel. But anyway.